Imagine AI sitting quietly in the corner of thousands of real retirement meetings, just listening to what advisors say, listening to what clients are afraid to say, and then telling us what actually happened in those conversations. Well, that study happened, and the results just came out, and what it revealed explains why so many people with enough money are still scared to retire, scared to spend, and at real risk of dying with regrets. If that's you, you're not broken. You're reacting normally to a system that was never designed around how people actually feel. In this video, I'm going to show you what the AI study found and how to make sure this broken system doesn't ruin your retirement. Now, here's why this should matter to you. Sitting at home, maybe with a Fidelity or a Schwab tab open on your laptop, because this study wasn't just about advisors and fancy financial models. It was about people exactly like you who have done a lot of things right, saved, invested, stayed disciplined, and yet you still feel that tightness in your chest when you even think about spending your money. You might recognize yourself in this. You plug your numbers into a retirement calculator you found somewhere on the internet. It spits out a color, maybe it's green or yellow or red. Maybe it tells you you're 78% on track or you need $400,000 more to retire comfortably. What happens next? Most people don't suddenly feel peaceful and confident. Instead, they either get scared and push retirement back just a few more years, or retire but live way below what they could safely spend just in case. That's the trap. And if you felt stuck there, like you can't win either way, that doesn't mean you're doing retirement wrong. This study matters to you because it finally explains why so many smart, responsible savers still feel like they're one bad year away from a disaster, and why they end up in their 60s and 70s with plenty of money, but still afraid to use it. If you've ever thought the calculator says I'm fine, but I don't feel fine, or I'm terrified of touching principal, even though I'm told I can, then what this AI study uncovered is directly about your life, not some abstract theory. Over the next few minutes, I'm going to show you what's broken in the way retirement guidance is delivered today, and how fixing these pieces can give you something most people never get. That's permission and a clear plan to actually enjoy the money they've spent years accumulating. Let me quickly explain what this AI study actually did in plain English. For years, we've been all swimming in these different retirement rules. The 4% rule, never touch principal, work until 67 just so you could be safe. But nobody had really stepped back and asked what's an important question. How are real people actually making retirement decisions today? And why are so many of them still scared, even when the math says they're okay? So this study did something different. It pulled in thousands of real retirement conversations and decisions, not just from advisors' offices, but from the way people actually live this point in their lives now. People running calculators on Fidelity and Schwab, or people using generic am I on track tools that they find online, or people searching for answers on YouTube and Google at 11:30 at night. Or even people posting in Facebook forums or groups saying things like, we have $1.2 million. Why do I still feel like I can't retire? Then AI went to work on all that text and data. It wasn't trying to find the perfect withdrawal rate. It was trying to spot patterns in human behavior. What are people actually afraid of? What makes them delay retirement even when they've saved more than enough money? What keeps them from spending even when the plan says they can? Where do the rules and calculators calm people down, and where do they actually make people more anxious? The result was kind of like an x-ray of how retirement decisions really get made out in the wild, not in a textbook, not in a spreadsheet, but in real people's heads and hearts, because this is the part no calculator can really show you. And what it found was three big broken things in the way people are getting guidance today. We've already started to touch on the first one. And once you see these clearly, it gets a lot easier to understand why you might be more cautious than you need to be and what you can do about it. Here's the first broken thing. The AI looked at a lot of advisor meetings and saw people sitting quietly while someone else was doing most of the talking. Now, for a lot of you watching this, I know that's not even your world. You're not in a conference room with an advisor. You're maybe on the couch with a laptop or a phone. You're Googling retirement calculator and plugging in all kinds of different numbers. Maybe your age, your account balances, maybe your social security estimate. And in just a few seconds, you get your verdict. You're on track, you're at risk, you need X more dollars to retire. And it feels official, it feels mathematical, it feels like an answer. But here's the problem. That calculator knows your numbers. It knows nothing about you. It doesn't know you watch your parents retire late and get sick almost immediately, or it doesn't know how you felt in 2000 or 2008 or COVID, all that stuff still in the back of your mind. If those years rewired you, you're not imagining it, that's real. It doesn't know you postponed that trip with your spouse for years because you're afraid to touch the principal of your retirement savings. It doesn't know your real fear isn't running out of money, it's running out of time while the money just sits there. So what happened? You see a red or yellow warning and you think, I guess I better keep working. It's just not safe to retire. Or you see a green, you're on track, but deep down you still don't believe it. So you live like you're one market crash away from disaster. The AI study's big insight was this: when advice is disconnected from your real story, your fears, your health, your relationships, your regrets, people either don't trust it or they just don't follow it. And that's true whether it's an advisor talking over you or a calculator giving you a one-word verdict about your future. In both cases, you can end up living far more cautiously than the numbers actually require, which is exactly how people with plenty of money still drift into the zone of regret. Next, let's talk about broken thing number 2. And this is why so much retirement guidance gets stuck on spreadsheets and never touches how you actually want your life to unfold. If you've ever felt stuck even with good numbers, this next part would be why. Broken thing number 2 is this: most retirement guidance talks to your spreadsheet, not to your fears. And if you've been trying to think your way out of fear for years, of course it hasn't worked. Fear doesn't respond to percentages. Think about how this usually goes for you. You feel a knot in your stomach about retiring. You're worried about another 2008 right after you stop working, or healthcare. So what do? You watch a video, you read an article, you plug in your age, your balance, your social security, and what comes back? Charts, probabilities, colors, green, yellow, red. You're 82% on track. You can probably withdraw 3.7% per year. All that is math, talking to math. But here's what those tools don't ask you. What are you actually afraid of? Or when did you first start feeling that way about money? Or what would you regret more, spending too much or never giving yourself permission to enjoy what you saved? A calculator can't see that you watched your parents work until they were exhausted and then got sick. It can't feel the way your chest tightens every time the market drops 2% in a day. It doesn't know you've delayed a trip with your spouse for years because touching principal feels like breaking the rule. So you end up with this weird split. On paper, the plan looks fine. In your body, you still feel one bad headline away from disaster. That's why so many people with more than enough money still live like they're one step from the poorhouse. The system is broken because it treats fear like a math problem, when for you it's a human problem built from memories, losses, and what ifs that numbers alone can't quiet. Broken thing number 3 is a lot of advice is technically correct, but practically impossible to follow. If you've tried and failed to follow perfect advice, that doesn't mean you failed. It means the advice wasn't built for real life. The study noticed something subtle. Clients were often given multiple recommendations, but only a portion of them ever turned into real action. Sometimes the advice was too complex. Sometimes it never really connected to what the client wanted their life to look like. Sometimes the client walked out more overwhelmed than when they walked in. Here's what this looks like in real life. You're told, here's your safe withdrawal rate. Here's the optimal Social Security claiming strategy. Here's the ideal asset allocation. So you nod, you leave with a nice binder. You don't book the trip. You don't tell your boss you're done. You don't actually change how you live day to day. On paper, you have a retirement plan. In reality, you're still living like you're one mistake away from disaster. That gap between knowing the plan and actually living the plan, that's where the zone of regret is born. And the AI study basically confirmed what I've seen for 2 decades. Most advice is not designed to give you permission to live. It's designed to avoid being wrong on a spreadsheet. Let me put a face on this. In another video, I talked about Mark, who was 60, single, and he wanted to retire. He had over $1 million saved, which was more than enough for his lifestyle. Every time he sat down with an advisor, the conversation turned into, it was performance charts, safe withdrawal rates, and all kinds of worst case scenarios. Did anyone ever really say, Mark, what are you actually afraid of, or what would you regret if you didn't retire now? The answer is no. So Mark kept working, not because he needed the money, but because he didn't have emotional permission to use his money. When we finally dug into his real fears about becoming a burden, about repeating his parents' story, and we built a plan that spoke to those fears, The math didn't magically change, but Mark did. He went from clenching every time the market moved to finally taking a big trip he put off for years. Same portfolio, completely different life. That's not weakness. That's what happens when the plan finally matches the person. That's what this AI study is really showing us. The problem isn't just bad advice. It's advice that never connects the numbers to the human being sitting in that chair. So what do you actually do with any of this? Let me give you a simple checklist you can walk through on your own, even this week. Step one is write down your sleep at night number, not a formula, a feeling. Ask yourself, what's the minimum monthly income where I would be able to breathe easier? It might be 4,000, 6, 10, whatever it is, get it on a piece of paper. Step two, separate enough from extra. Look at your Social Security and pensions and a conservative withdrawal from your savings, maybe 3 to 4% to start. If that covers your sleep at night number, great. Anything above that is where lifestyle, trips, gifts, and fun actually live. Seeing that in black and white is often the first permission people need. Step three, name your real fear. On a blank page, finish the sentence. I'm afraid that if I spend, then. Most people don't write, I'll run out of money. They write, I'll be a burden, or I'll repeat what happened to my parents, or I'll feel stupid if there's a crash. Once it's on paper, you can plan around that fear instead of the vague monster in your head. In step four, design one test drive year. Instead of trying to solve the rest of your life at once, ask, what would a great next 12 months look like? Does that feel responsible? Maybe that's one trip, maybe that's helping a grandchild or upgrading something in your daily life. Pick one or two things and build them into your numbers. If the plan still works with those added, you've just given yourself permission to actually live some of this now. If you are meeting with an advisor, bring these 4 things into your next conversation and say, don't just tell me if the numbers work. Help me make sure I don't end up with regrets. And if you want more permission-focused retirement content, not scarcity retirement, hit subscribe so you don't drift back into the old fear-based rules. Thanks for watching.